Alive on the moon, Mounjaro, it's on the pen alive, with your host David Knapp.
Thank you, Clap Track. Happy Thursday night. Welcome to the stream. My name is Dave Knapp, man on the Mounjaro. That is why I'm here. You are on the pen. That's why you're here. The Wegovy pen, the Ozempic pen, the Saxenda, Victoza, Trulicity, Mounjaro pen. That's why you're here. We're all here to just share about our journeys, to share about our struggle with obesity, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, PCOS, all the things that come about with the struggle, right? So if you are new here, put an N in the chat next to your name so I can welcome you by name. If you are here from the TikTok, put your name in the chat. Let me know that you're here from TikTok. We love our TikTokian friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. You are the best part of what I do and why I do what I do here at the Man on the Mounjaro. So welcome, especially to the members. If you became a new member this week, welcome. Thank you for being members. Members support this channel by basically, just giving back a little bit. $2.99 a month is what it costs to become a member of the channel. You get exclusive custom content, custom emojis. If you're using those custom emojis, put them in the chat. But for $2.99 a month, you get access to all that, and you give back to me to be able to afford to do the things that I do on the channel. All these things take money: the StreamYard, the Canva, the Grasshopper, the podcast stuff. By the way, we're on Apple Podcasts now, so you can listen to this in your car. Last week's episode's up. We'll be putting the episodes over on Apple Podcasts moving forward so that you can listen that way if you would like to listen to the stream that way. But yeah, thank you for those who have become members. There's a link in the description of this video for those of you who are interested in giving back to the channel this way. Pamela, welcome to the stream. James, welcome to the live stream. James is concerned about Amy, and he's also hit a stall, so we'll circle back to that. It's good to see you, James. Thanks for being here. Tina, Tom, welcome. Judy, welcome. Brandy over on the Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. And special welcome to the members: Sue, Cheryl, Abby, BJ Davis, who's one of our guests tonight, Carla, Anna, Cheryl. Thank you, AO. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being members. Adiende, Vanessa. Appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here, the best part of this channel. So we got a good show lined up tonight. We're going to talk about a few things we've got different basically little vignettes that we do, little parts of the show that we break, segments that we break it up into. Thanks. That's the words I was looking for, segment. And the first one that we get into every week is just one that we have to do a little housekeeping. So we got to talk about what's going on the channel. I promise to make it quick, but we're going to roll that bumper. Housekeeping. You want mint for pillow? Housekeeping is where we talk about what's going on the channel, right? And so we just have to take a few minutes to just kind of chat through what's new, what's going on the channel on a weekly basis. This week, I just wanted to bring your attention again to the merchandise, the On the Pen. If you want to be loud and proud about the fact that you are on the pen, part of this community, you're going to notice the pictures below. I think they're there of the merchandise. Otherwise, you can click on the store on my channel and check out the On the Pen shirts. And last week we shared this picture. We'll share it again of Miss T wearing her On the Pen shirt. She is on the pen. So Miss Tapman, thank you for purchasing that shirt and wearing it around and being proud and loud about your GLP-1 progress. Also, a couple fun things tonight. So as always, the biggest super chat of the night gets to pick where I inject this bad girl. So Thursday night is shot night for me for the Mounjaro. You want to pick where this is going to go this week? This biggest super chat of the night gets that. And then everybody who gives a super chat tonight will be eligible to get one of these. You remember this guy? One of the first little things that I did on this channel, first little logos. Woo! Me on the Mounjaro rocket pen. It's a little sticker for your water bottle. If you give a super chat tonight and you would like one of these, you can just send me an email to mounjaroman@gmail.com with your address and I will get one in the mail. Or if you would prefer one of the little Mounjaro rocket men for your backpack, we got those too. So anybody who gives a gift, just let me know where you'd like that sent to. Thank you for being here tonight. You're the best part of the channel. Tonight's show and all the shows are always brought to you by On the Pen Marketing. OnThePenMarketing.com is where you're going to go if you or a small business that you know would benefit from taking their marketing to the next level. I'm your guy, OnThePenMarketing.com. So thank you to me, On the Pen Marketing, for sponsoring On the Pen Live every night, every Thursday night at 9 p.m. We do this every week. So if you're new here, just want you to know we do this every week. So you're missing out if you're not here every week because we have a good time. And Mimi, welcome to the channel. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being a member as well. So, and Krista's here. Awesome. Welcome. And Amy. Yeah. So welcome. Thank you all as you're coming in here. Sorry if I miss you. But that's what we got for the housekeeping. So we've got a lot of news to get to tonight. Some better news than maybe we're used to getting from the media. So tonight we're going to jump right in to our first real segment, and that is Go Hawks. What's fresh? What's fresh? So we got some awesome news this week. The first one I want to talk about, if you missed it, I did a video on this. So if you want an in-depth, more of an in-depth dive into what this is, a company called Fractal came out with or kind of spoke about it at the American Diabetes Association get together this year. And essentially they've come up with a one and done GLP-1 treatment. So what is that like? What does that even look like? What is a one and done GLP-1 treatment? Well, this is a gene therapy treatment. So whereby they're going in and they're actually editing your genetics, but it's a one-time treatment that has led to weight loss in up to 20% in people, and then bringing their A1C in half. And I misspoke just there. Not in people, in mice, in rats. So they've been able to kind of see these kind of results in rats, and they're going to move these into human phase clinical trials. So that's exciting. Also kind of scary, actually a lot scary. But when you think about the future of type 2 diabetes, we're talking about medicines that have the potential to eradicate type 2 diabetes. And for those of you who struggle with type 2 diabetes, it is an absolutely amazing proposition. And James, speaking of, his A1C has gone from 7.6 down to 5, which is just amazing progress. So congratulations, James, on the Mounjaro helping you get into remission. That's amazing, amazing, amazing. And James, weren't you the one who said that your son was also now on the Mounjaro as well? That's super, super awesome. Twinkle Ann, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you all here. So yeah, amazing, just amazing, amazing progress. So yeah. So this medication would be a one and done treatment. We'll see what it does in clinical trials. I think it has the potential to be a game changer. It's also very, very scary. So we're not talking about peptides here. We're talking about gene therapy. And so that's a whole nother ball game, right? Kind of one of those, not it to be the guinea pig on that one, but a very cool endeavor from Fractal to, basically set out. I mean, God bless these people who are out on a mission to eradicate things like type 2 diabetes. One of those things that I'm not sure you can fully appreciate unless you are just broken like you are with type 2 diabetes. Joe Crypto, you're kidding me. Welcome to the stream, buddy. It's good to have you back. Welcome to the stream, Joe. I'm glad that you're here tonight. Drunk on Duty, welcome. 4th week on the pen for Drunk on Duty. That's amazing. So that's Fractal Health. That's what's fresh in that. And if you want to check out the video, you can go back. Anna, looks like Anna gave a subscription. So thank you for that, Anna. I appreciate that. So there's another cool article, and I'll link this in the description when we're done here, but it's a New York Times article about the origins of GLP-1 medications. If you want to check it out, it's really interesting because we talked about this about 8 weeks ago. I don't know, maybe 10 or so episodes ago of On the Pen. We talked about the origins of Byetta and how Byetta, which is, one of the oldest GLP-1 medications, actually started from basically a peptide that was made, a synthetic peptide that was made on the basis of a peptide that came from Gila monster venom, right? And so they just kind of go into that, and it's a cool article to check out. So make sure you check that out. I'll link it in the description. It was from the New York Times. So I'm always pleasantly surprised when I see positive stories in the media about GLP-1s, because it just isn't always that way. Another thing we've talked about for the last couple weeks on this stream is the super exciting news that came out of the clinical trials with semaglutide. It was the 2.4 milligram of the Wegovy, which is semaglutide, which showed I'm probably going to get my numbers here goofed up again, but it showed basically in patients with heart disease, a 20% reduction in, serious events like heart attack and stroke, which is huge. And so kind of extrapolating those numbers out, some researchers from the University of California, Irvine, extrapolated it out to like real world numbers and what that could actually mean for people. So check this out. Based upon the numbers that came out of this trial, Wegovy could prevent up to 1.5 million heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular events in the U.S. over a 10-year period. Check that again. 1.5 million heart attacks, strokes, or other cardiovascular events reduced in the U.S. That's just amazing. Freedom Variant just became the newest member of the channel. Thank you, Freedom Variant, for becoming a member of the channel. I really appreciate that. I think you are a TikToker too. So thank you for being over here as well. So that has huge implications that will ripple through the healthcare economy, right? But just, we're talking about a absolute game changer. We're talking about heart disease, the number one killer in America, I believe, is heart disease. And we're talking about these GLP-1s, and I'm just going to throw GLP-1s in together because I don't think it's just semaglutide, but this is just my positing that it's the class of GLP-1 medications in general that could really change the game when it comes to heart health in the United States. So we're not just talking about obesity anymore. We're talking about heart health. We're talking about some of the major killers of people in the United States. So just amazing. All cardiologists just bit their tongues and cursed you. Exactly. See, that's the widespread implications of this cascading event. Just like, the other news articles that have popped up this week about how, and Matthew's been way out ahead of this, talking about this. I know Sue the Dude's been talking about this for months on this channel about how these GLP-1s and use of these GLP-1s are going to impact big food, like fast food, the chip companies, Dave, say it, the ootides. That's right. Dulaglutide, semaglutide, Tirzepatide, all the ootides are going to just change the game. And so this is just amazing news. Also, has cascading effects into, the way that insurers look at these medications. Because now you talk about a reduction, and we're just talking about Wegovy here in the study that came out with Wegovy. We're not even talking about the whole class of medicines. These numbers would be much larger. But a reduction of 1.5 million heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular events in the U.S., I can't imagine the cascading, how that amounts into dollars and cents from insurance companies, right? So just absolutely amazing. Dave, when is the last time you walked into a pharmacy? Just 2 days ago. I personally, Sue says, I've personally driven down Taco Bell stock 20%. Between you and me, it's probably about 65%. Kelly, welcome to the stream. So this is another huge number. And again, this is just Wegovy. This isn't the entire class of GLP medicines. And we're talking about semaglutide here, which at 2.4 milligrams doesn't even have the efficacy of like a 15 milligram Mounjaro. We're talking about Wegovy could result in 43 million fewer Americans with obesity over a decade. 43 million fewer Americans with obesity over the course of a decade. Let those numbers sink in. And to Matthew and Sue the Dude's point, just think about the cascading and ripple effects in the economy, and it starts to make sense why you see the demonization of these medications, why you see the fake news, and why it becomes oh so important to lift our voices up and be loud about how these medications are changing our lives. Not only that, but to stand up for those in the community who are silenced when they talk about them. And that is the lead in into tonight's Take Out the. So I was back and forth on how to approach this topic. I've been over on TikTok for just shy of 2 months, probably. And Drunk on Duty, I'll come back to your question, but I've been on TikTok for about 2 months, and I've watched countless numbers of people over there who welcome me as a creator over there with open arms, help to prop up my channel, help to tell other people about me. And I watched their accounts get banned and taken away overnight. Literally tens of thousands of followers were lost overnight. And up until this week, it had been a pretty safe place for us to create content in this space over the last year as it relates to GLP-1. And that all changed yesterday because, as many of you know, suddenly our friend over at Amy 2.0, Amy Danae's account was basically wiped off the face of the earth. Now, I'm going to preface this all by saying I don't have a personal relationship with Amy. I don't know Amy. And so I only know her through her content. And I know that her content, like mine, had her heart and soul in it, her blood, sweat, and tears, and her time in it. And I am feeling for Amy today now because I know how much of her heart and soul went into her channel, and it was just taken away overnight. I think Amy had over 5,000 followers. And trust me, that is a ton of work. And she had a ton of content and put a ton of effort into the content that she made. And so why are we talking about that here? We're talking about it because when one GLP content creator is attacked, the whole community is being attacked. Now, there was another video that was done by another creator. Forgive me, I can't remember her name. It was a new creator to me. I had never seen her before, but she was apparently in contact with Amy, and then mentioned it in her video. And then I kind of was reading through the comments there, and it sounded like Amy's account was suspended due to some alleged content community violations. I'm not sure what those would have been. But I do know this, and I think it had to do with maybe potentially pushing people towards medication without a prescription. I'd seen enough of Amy's content. Like, it's always hard for me to consume content over here on YouTube because I am so consumed with creating it. But I have seen enough of Amy's stuff to know that there's no way that that's true in any world. I think she seemed very honorable, very in touch with her, with how the level of trust that people put into you when they follow your content for information, like I do as well. And so I think that this is a gross overreaction or injustice, let's call it, towards Amy's account. And I'm very hopeful that as she goes through her appeals process, that she will be vindicated and that she will indeed get her account back. But in the meantime, thoughts and prayers. If you're a praying person, send your prayers over to Amy. I know that I said a prayer for her myself today. Just knowing how difficult that must be to put your heart and soul and then have it taken out from under you. And just so you all know, Amy, if you're watching, you have an open invitation to come to On the Pen in the meantime and tell people where they can find you. Anytime, you can just reach out to me at mounjaroman@gmail.com. We would love to have you on. We would love to. I know there's probably got to be just a ton of overlap between the people who follow your content and follow my content. And, so if there's a new place that they can find you, it's an open invitation for you to come here and let people know where they can find you. So that kind of brings me to my next point. And that is, at what point does this cascade over to the next creator and the next creator and the next creator. So in that vein, I want you all to know that you can check me out. I have an alternate account over here on YouTube that is at On the Pen. So you can follow me at On the Pen as well. Make sure that you go over to my website though, which is onthepen.com. So that's my website, onthepen.com. When you go to the website, there's going to be a pop-up banner that allows you to sign up for email alerts. And if you can go over to onthepen.com and sign up, that will keep us in contact. So if anything happens to my account over here, we are still connected and I can point you in the right direction. You always know that you can find me at Man on the Mounjaro on all the socials. The only place that I'm not Man on the Mounjaro is on X, which is Twitter. And I'm Man on Mounjaro over there because it didn't have enough room for the. So I really, really, really hope that you'll check out onthepen.com. While you're there, sign up for the email alerts. And that way we can stay in touch with each other in case this becomes more widespread. Because mark my words, if this channel goes away, On the Pen lives on. We are still doing this every Thursday night, rain or shine, because this is about the community. Where that will be, I don't know. But I do want you to know that if this becomes widespread, you know where to find me, onthepen.com. And so, yeah. So much love, prayers, and support to our friend in the community, Amy. And we hope that she is restored and set right soon enough. So thank you. I really, really, really appreciate y'all being here tonight. I'm really, really excited to move on to the next segment because we've got one of my favorite guests to have on the channel tonight. Before we bring him in, I want to go back because there was a couple of super chats that happened while I was talking. So thank you for those who give gifts. Thank you. It is what, that and the memberships keep this thing going. So thank you for being here. At the end, they said, what about compound semaglutide and Contrave? I'm on 5 milligrams sema and the hunger and pain is real. So I don't know a whole lot about Contrave, to be honest with you, but my doctor put me on a few weeks ago on Topamax and Phentermine, low dose Topamax, which is Qsymia. And I couldn't find Qsymia here, so I got both prescriptions. Now I've yet to take the Topamax, but I've heard from some others who are on it that it really, really, really helps with suppression. So Contrave is one of those that I think works more on the reward centers in your brain. And I have definitely heard about people kind of having doctors that kind of put those two things together. So and then Drunk on Duty says, has anyone else taken metformin and Mounjaro simultaneously? So many people do. Drunk on Duty. I've heard it from hundreds of people probably that take both metformin and Mounjaro. So what you need to understand about that is essentially you've got a liver, and when you are struggling with a metabolic disorder, a lot of times your liver gets out of whack and it produces too much sugar, right? So you got all this extra sugar running around in your bloodstream, which requires more insulin and a baseline to keep that low because your liver's overproducing glucagon, right? Am I saying that right? Sugar, effectively, which raises your blood sugar, right? And so GLP-1 medications, including Mounjaro, which is GLP-1 and GIP, incretin hormones basically help to regulate how much sugar your liver makes, right? And so that is the chief mechanism of action of metformin as well. So then you have two drugs that are kind of doing the same thing. GLP-1s do a lot of other things. Delay gastric emptying. They help with the pleasure reward center in your brain. They help make you feel full. They stimulate your pancreas to make more insulin when you need it. But you've got two medicines acting the same way. So what you want to watch out for is just low blood sugars, right? And over time, it sounds like anecdotally what I hear is more than not, when people move up in dose on Mounjaro, they don't always need the metformin anymore. So talk to your doctor and just make sure that you're checking your blood sugars because the main thing that you just want to watch is you've got two drugs that are kind of doing the same thing. A $20 super chat from James tonight. Thank you, James. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate it. And again, for anybody who's giving gifts tonight, know that you can email mounjaroman@gmail.com if you would like a sticker, and I will send you one in the mail. Just let me know where I'm sending it to. Thank you, Abby, for the super chat as well. Appreciate you. And James, so far, James has the largest super chat of the night. So, James, you get to choose as of right now. We'll do this towards the end, but you get to choose where I inject the 20 or the 20 milligram. I wish it was 20 milligram, the 10 milligram pen. So sorry if I'm missing some other chats. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. But we have waiting in the wings, one of our favorite guests on the show, on the channel, the proprietor of BJ Davis's Discord, BJ Davis himself. The king is in the house tonight. So we're going to roll that bumper.
Hot channel.
BJ is in the house tonight. So without further ado, I want to welcome him in here. BJ.
Hey,
buddy. Welcome back.
Well, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me.
It wasn't all that long ago that you were here, just a few weeks ago, right?
I think it was, yes, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so thanks for coming back again and being willing to share. Tell everybody, what is unique about this time in life for you and why you're here and what we're talking about tonight.
Well, I haven't put out a video on my channel in several weeks now, and you have a larger audience than me, and I was hoping that I could get some messages across to your viewing audience because we do share a lot of subscribers. But the first thing is July 19th, a few weeks ago, marked my 1 year anniversary on Mounjaro, and I've lost 138.2 pounds.
That is amazing.
Started at 138.2. Started at 403.2 pounds. And on the actual morning of the 1 year anniversary, I hit 265.
That's amazing, BJ. Congratulations on that. That is amazing. Wow.
But there's something more important about those numbers too, is I've shared with a number of people on my channel and your channel, I'm facing some hip surgery, scheduled for Tuesday, as a matter of fact. But, overweight people can be metabolically healthy, but there's other things they need to consider, especially if you're getting on up in years like myself, is if you're facing major surgery, even though you're metabolically healthy, you might have other problems because of your weight. And to get the type of hip surgery that I wanted to have, my doctor told me I needed to be below 270 and have a BMI of 35 or less. And I was also fortunate enough to have made both those numbers. BMI number of 34.4 now, and I hit the 265 mark. So I was very happy about that. And I have Mounjaro to think about it, plus the support of all of our viewers out there giving me words of encouragement every time I did publish a video.
Absolutely. And the Discord, of course.
The Discord. Yes, we have implemented some changes there. Every time you publish a video, it gets automatically pushed out to members of the Discord. So if you haven't signed up, please, tonight's a good opportunity.
Absolutely. You can do that by just going to BJ Davis Discord davisdiscord.com, DAVISDISCORD, davisdiscord.com. Don't be afraid if you haven't used Discord before. You'll figure it out quick enough. They've made it very easy to navigate. It's just a great place to go have conversations. There's just like a 24-hour day conversation going on the Discord about GLP-1s, type 2 diabetes, obesity. There's categories for everything where conversations are just ongoing there. So you just go there and contribute. It's where the best conversations about GLP-1s happen on the entire internet. Over at BJ's Discord. That's davisdiscord.com. I did link that in the description of this video, so you can check it out there as well. BJ, a good question from James. He wanted to know if you ever hit a stall along your journey.
I've hit several stalls. In fact, I've gone almost a month without losing any weight and would get very discouraged. And I'd wake up one morning and I would have lost 3, maybe 4 pounds. It's just, I can't explain it, but the plateaus do happen, but they go away almost as quick as they.
So yeah, BJ is saying that they go away almost as quickly as they come. So good. I'm glad that the stalls were kind of short-lived. I mean, relatively, I've been on a stall really for months and months. That's largely due to my titrating back in dose. But yeah, I mean, the best advice that I think that we can give to anybody who's facing a stall is to do something different, whether that's extra movement, whether that's increased protein intake, increased water intake. You want to do something different. And then, of course, if you're not at the highest dose and you're stalled for an extended period of time, might be a good time to talk to your doctor about dosing up to a higher dose. And so one of the things that we're always trying to equip people with on this information is not medical advice, but we're trying to equip people with the knowledge that they need to have an informed discussion with their doctor, right? And so good information from you, BJ. I kind of picked up on there because you cut out for a second with the satellite, so that's why I kind of interrupted you. But I don't know if you can see yourself freeze on your end or not. So
I can occasionally, yes. But this is so much better than what I had a few weeks ago where I couldn't do any type of live.
Yeah, right. It's good to have you. It's good to not have to schedule the time with you. You can just like say, hey, I'm good to come on this week, and we'll have you. So James also asked what dose you are on, but you're on the 15 milligram.
I'm on the 15. In fact, good question. I've been off of Mounjaro since August the 1st. The doctor wanted me to come off of it at least 2 weeks prior to the surgery because of aspiration. Actually, that's something that Robert Armstrong, another content creator whose wife is in the medical field, actually, gave me the heads up on, and I discussed it with the doctor, and they hadn't actually really thought about it. I think I may be the first GLP-1 patient that they're doing this procedure on.
Interesting.
I have been off of it for 3 weeks. Some hunger, nothing like I expected. But I'm anxious to get back on it. In fact, I've got 3 pens left of the 15. And then I've got a box of the 7.5 left. So I'm going to start trying to take it every 2 weeks after the surgery to stretch this out as long as I can, because although I've hit 265 with an original goal of 290, I'm hoping maybe I can get down to 240 or 245 to give me some buffer in case I do gain weight. But then after that, I'm going to be looking at other alternatives, or hopefully there will be some changes in my insurance and they'll pay part of it, or perhaps even another coupon. One can never tell.
Yep, absolutely. It's important to note there's been some news. Amy, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Super sticker. Again, if y'all want to get one of these, make sure, and you give a super chat tonight, make sure that you just send an email to mounjaroman@gmail.com and let me know where I can send that to. So one of the big concerns about the GLP-1s, and you've seen more and more news articles about this, and it's most of the articles are really clickbaity, so they make you think that there's some intrinsic problem with GLP-1s. But the issue with going under with anesthesia, folks, is that GLP-1s delay gastric emptying. And as they delay gastric emptying, it means you hold on to food longer than normal. And, anybody who's gone in for anesthesia knows that they don't have you eat for, 24 hours, maybe even longer, to make sure that all the contents of your stomach have been emptied so you're not vomiting that up while you're out and run the risk of choking. Right. So if you have a medicine that's one of their chief mechanisms is to slow digestion, it would stand to reason that you would want that out of your system prior to going into anesthesia. So that's where that all comes from. So shout out to Robert Armstrong, who I haven't heard from for a while, for bringing that to the community's attention via his wife there. And I'm glad that you were able to have that conversation with your doctor, because it doesn't sound like he was going to bring it up.
Well, actually, the conversation was with the nurse during the pre-admission.
Oh, okay.
In fact, very pleased with this process. And, I didn't want to have the surgery in the small town that I live in. So I am traveling to Asheville, North Carolina to have the surgery. But in addition to the anesthesia, they're going to be giving me a shot in the spine. I think that's called an epidural.
Right.
But the nurse said, don't worry, we'll be giving you a shot ahead of time to make sure that there's no pain when we give you the shot in the spine. But, it's funny, when they told me that, my hip started feeling better right away.
Funny how that works.
It's funny how that works.
You tell your wife.
The whole process, I think, is going to only take a couple of hours with a 4-inch incision. And the doctor said I should be going home that day with no restrictions whatsoever. And then on Friday, 3 days after the surgery, that's when I start the.
We're losing BJ. The satellites are passing over. We'll have him back in 3, 2, 1. BJ. Sorry, that was supposed to be better timed. That is, I mean, that's just amazing to think that he will be back with no restrictions that quickly. That's just amazing. We'll pull BJ out until he comes back. But yeah, just amazing to think that somebody can have something like a hip surgery and then be back with no restrictions so quickly. So just modern medicine is quite a marvel. And we hope that as BJ goes into that surgery, that we'll obviously be keeping him in our prayers and sending him some well wishes. Make sure you jump into the Discord or over into the comments of his video over the next couple weeks to be encouraging him on just the recovery. But it sounds like pretty decent recovery. So BJ, we got you back.
Sorry about that. Satellite just flew overhead.
Yeah, we're all good. I know how to talk, so we're good. Never have a problem with that. So yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with you as you go into this. But I'm encouraged to hear how simple they make it sound. I mean, the epidural, I'm sure, is a scary thing, and I know, having been a part of 4 live births, that's kind of a freaky thing to deal with. But yeah, having a hip replaced is apparently not quite what it used to be. Jim says that his wife had a hip replaced and now she's 100% pain-free, and it was great and fast recovery. So that's awesome. A couple super chats came in. Thank you, Diane, for the super chat. And I think it was Amy was the other one. Thank you for those who are giving gifts tonight. It's very, very, very appreciated. Thank you so much. So beyond where you're at with your weight now, BJ, and I know obviously facing accessibility is going to become an issue for you as the months go by here. Where are you hoping to get down for your weight? Do you have a goal weight in mind, or?
My goal now is to get down to 245. I maintained that weight for years. And if I could get back to that weight and maintain it, I would have considered my journey a success. But, it's going to take some effort, or some expense. I'm going to find a way to take some sort of GLP-1 medication. And I've resigned myself to the fact that I'll have to take something like that for the rest of my life. But I'm looking forward to being active again. My wife and I have discussed joining local health club, and exercise on a regular basis, something that I can't do right now because of the pain that it causes.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I always, especially over on TikTok, when I do TikTok lives, there'll be, upwards of 100 people in a live, and you'll just be getting hit with questions. And actually, if you want to check some of those out, I've been dual streaming them to YouTube. So I have a new playlist. It's just live Q&A, where I just take those questions rapid fire over on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time. And so I've been taking a lot of questions. But one of the things that I hear really, really often from people over on TikTok is that these medications, when they lose all this weight, they're just getting their life back in a way that I don't even think that they understood that they would when they started it. Like, I think we all started this weight loss journey thinking, I want to get down to this weight, or I want to get down to that weight because this is what I was at in high school, or this is the lowest I've been in my adult life. Or I know that one of the things that Ken Lee, Fat Guy No More, over here on Twitter or on YouTube has always said is, I'm about to be at a lighter weight, and I think he's already there, than my wife has ever known me at. Mm-hmm. And so we all have these numbers in our head, whether they're just arbitrary numbers or whether they have some significance, but we don't, I think, fully grasp how much of our life we'll get back. Like, I just think about Ken, who has spent, the better part of his summer touring ballparks around the country. And just think about all the mobility that has required of him, and how much of that is due to the fact that Mounjaro has helped him to get down to where he can be at a weight that he can move around and do stuff like that. I also think of Pug on Mounjaro, who is down 200 pounds.
In record time.
In record time. Like, that's like since February. He's down 200 pounds. He's lower than I am now, which is just incredible. And so to think about the kind of progress that people are having, and I know that Pug would say if he was here, he hasn't been here for a few weeks, but I know that he's done some video updates lately that you should check out. But he's just getting his life back in ways that I don't know that he thought that he would. And so kudos to those of you who are getting your life back. And it sounds like, BJ, you're getting some of your life back. You're planning on doing some things with your wife that you probably haven't done or thought of in a long, long time. And so very thrilled with your progress. And thank you for documenting your journey here on YouTube along the way, and then caring enough to build the community over on the Discord.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come on and share my story, Dave. I mean, I want to get it out to as many people as possible. You know, if you hit plateaus, don't give up. You know, they're just temporary. But Mounjaro, whatever GLP-1 you're taking, it does give your life back. Just simple things like going to a theater and being able to sit in one of the seats and be comfortable. Just something that people that are obese haven't actually realized, you know, what, you know, losing the weight gives back to them from a quality of life standpoint.
Absolutely. I think for myself, my sleep apnea has improved a lot. I haven't had any testing done on it, but I know that it's improved a lot. So my sleep is better. I think a big thing for me is even though I haven't lost a tremendous amount of weight, I've still lost over, you know, like 10% of my body weight, 10 to 12% of my body weight. And even just in that reduction, I notice it a lot when I travel for work and I get on an airplane and I sit in an airplane seat and I don't feel like I'm packed in as much like a sardine as I used to. And, you know, the seat belt, you know, fits easier, and all, you know, all these little things that, as you know, when you're overweight and you're struggling, are just kind of those moments in life that you loathe. You know, you loathe getting on an airplane when you know that it's going to be a super uncomfortable 4-hour ride. You're going to be impeding on the space and the person next to you. And, you know, to be able to get some of that back and is just reclaiming, you know, part of your life back. And so,
And just think, being able to get on the airplane and not have the embarrassment of asking for a seatbelt extender.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, congratulations to those of you who are in the chat here, who are also getting your life back. It is so good to have you all here. Make sure, I just want to take a second to remind you to hit the like button, to hit the share button, share this somewhere with somebody who might find it helpful. We really, really, really appreciate you all being here tonight. We get more and more viewers, I feel like, every week that we do this. And so I'm so thankful that this show has resonated with people, and I certainly couldn't have done it, wouldn't be doing it without the support of people like you, BJ, with the great members of your Discord like Mel, Sue the Dude, of course, who have just been here for a long, long time. Abby, just encouraging me along the way. So it's been fun to see this thing kind of grow. Joe Crypto, you've been around for a long time too. So thank you, buddy. So yeah, you know, I think this is going to be a little bit shorter of a stream tonight, just because we don't have Chrissy here tonight to share. But you know, the floor is open, BJ. Like you said, we have a lot of overlap in the people that follow your channel, that follow my channel, a lot of mutual friends over in the Discord. Is there anything else that you would like to share with anybody tonight? Kind of looking forward, or anything?
Well, one thing that's troubled me for 2 days now is Amy's channel being deleted. I mean, that's just, you know, I can't believe that happened. That was just terrible, because she actually put some good content, and she did put a lot of effort into it. And, you know, what she apparently was canceled for, I'm trying to think. I don't recall her trying to push any type of particular drugs. I don't understand why that would have happened. And I mean, I'm afraid if it's happened to Amy, it can happen to other people. So
Yeah,
we all need to be prepared and make sure we have an alternative method of delivering our content.
Absolutely. Are there, you know, besides the Discord, are you on any of the other socials where people can follow you?
I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I've not done a lot with it, but I'm probably going to start putting content to there. And I have downloaded a utility. I've not kept all my videos that I uploaded to YouTube on my hard drive, but I've got a utility where I went back and I backed up my entire YouTube channel. So any content creator who doesn't have their own current backup copy should think about doing that.
Yep. Make sure you check out the Discord. I think that's the main thing, because most of the YouTube creators in this space are over on BJ's Discord. So if something happens, at least you can communicate with a lot of the people that are over there. If you're following this tonight, I mentioned earlier in the stream that I have a backup YouTube that's at On the Pen. So make sure you go over there and give that a sub tonight. And also just the main thing that you can do is just go over to onthepen.com where all my socials are linked. All my videos are there from YouTube. Thankfully, I do so many of my videos over here from StreamYard, and so they're saved here. So I have a lot of my content. But yeah. And Mel brings up a good point. I had the same thought earlier, Mel. She said, why take down a whole channel and why not just remove a video? I think that's why I'm hopeful that she'll get it back, because it feels abrupt and like almost like a mistake, right? It almost feels like a mistake. Like she got wrapped up into an algorithmic thing, but I know it felt the same way over on TikTok when people were losing their accounts. So I'm not sure what, what or why, but I can't, like you said, BJ, I've seen enough of her content to know that she seemed extremely above the board in her content and seemed to genuinely care and not to be the type of person who would ever share anything that she thought could even be remotely construed by somebody and do harm to anybody. So, yeah, so I hope that she gets restored. If indeed this was a big mistake, I'm hopeful for her that it will, and I'm hopeful that she'll come on here if she doesn't, so that those who are connected with her know at least where she can turn to next, or where they can turn to next to find her content, whether it's a backup YouTube or what it may be. But again, thoughts and prayers to her. Because I just can't imagine. Mel says we love Mindy here. I'm not sure how we got on the Mindy subject, but yeah, we love Mindy P as well. There's so many great creators here. I mean, several of them in the chat here tonight, right? Mimi is here. She makes great content. Amy's husband, John, has a channel. I did not know that. Cool. I didn't know she had a husband.
He's been on some of her videos. I've seen that, but it's good to know that he does have a channel. Perhaps she can upload her videos to it.
Yeah. Or at least communicate. I think the main thing is that people are going to be looking for her. They want to find her because those who enjoyed her content really enjoyed her content. She seems like a very sweet gal. Again, I don't know her. I've never interacted with her, but boyfriend. No, it's her boyfriend. Yeah, that's what I thought. Semantics. Tomato. So, yeah. Yeah, hearts out to her tonight. And again, it affects all of us. And Vanessa said she likes Keisha Dixon. Keisha's great too, but Amy today, Keisha tomorrow, Dave the next day. I think this affects all of us, and we need to band together, and we just need to make sure that we're finding ways to stay in contact with each other, because the last thing you want is to disappear off of YouTube and then it's like you disappeared off the face of the earth. That's why it's so important for y'all to be members of the Discord. I also have a Facebook channel. If you're not a Discord person, you can join my Facebook group. It's On the Pen with Man on the Mounjaro on Facebook, or just go to onthepen.com. Sue the Dude said, any news on the Obesity Act? There's been no movement on it lately. To my knowledge, nothing that's hit the news about it. So yeah, no, I mean, when he talks about the Obesity Act, that's TROA, that's the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act. It was reintroduced as a piece of legislation to be debated. And I think that what you're also seeing going on kind of in parallel to this is this negotiation, drug price negotiation conversation going on Capitol Hill. And so there's just going to have to be concessions made on all ends, because I don't know that, it's just complex, but any movement is good movement. The most recent movement was the reintroduction onto the floor of the House. And so we'll see what happens from there, but no updates since my last updates on the TROA, unless you've heard of something, BJ.
Never heard anything.
So yeah, and if you're here and you don't know what the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act is, really just relates to, I mean, the biggest way that it impacts this community is just with Medicare and adding obesity coverage, and then watching hopefully the private sector follow that over time. Creamy Jalapeno, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. Endurance, welcome. If you're new here tonight, if this is your first time watching On the Pen, put an N in the chat and let me know that you're new here. If you've been here and you've enjoyed this, please share it somewhere. Please make sure you hit that like button. Hit the bell button too if you're here and you haven't ever hit the bell button. That way you'll get a notification when we go live over here. So really, really, really appreciate that. BJ, I appreciate you joining tonight. If you don't have anything else for tonight, we'll bid you adieu till next time. But really,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Open invitation to you as well. Obviously, this is anytime you want to come on and chit chat. I hope that everything goes well with your surgery. I hope you'll come on afterwards and let us know how it goes. And yeah, we really appreciate you joining.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night, BJ. Awesome. Yeah, Vanessa, you keep bringing up Keisha. She's awesome. Keisha's awesome. So if you haven't checked out Keisha's channel, I didn't really get to know Keisha until I went over to TikTok, and she's got a big TikTok account. And I saw her stuff, and then I saw her stuff popping up over here on YouTube. So Keisha Dixon's awesome. She does a great job. Appreciate her. All the GLP-1 content creators, right? We'll have a little bit different flavor of what we do and how we do things. Certainly, a lot of the information that we share is overlap. That's fine. We all kind of have our own flavor of how we deliver that content. Obviously, my big one is on the pen, right? And so I appreciate you being here every week when we do the show on the pen live Thursday nights. This happens every week at 9 p.m. Central Time. And if you have benefited from this channel in any way, if you have benefited from on the pen live, please make sure that you go and give me a follow on another platform or go to onthepen.com and sign up for those email alerts in case anything happens here, because I want to continue this regardless of what happens here. But I'm pretty confident that we're good. I'm confident in the content that we put out. Always pushing people to talk to their doctors and patients. That's what we've been advocating for on this channel since I started making content on day one. My belief, it has always been that people should be able to make decisions with their doctors. They should be as informed as possible when they go to their doctor about what options they have, the conditions that they have, and how to move forward with treatment. And then with their doctor, who is a medical expert, should be able to find the best course of treatment for whatever they're dealing with. Doctors and patients, without outside influence from anyone. And so that's what we've always advocated for on this channel, is doctors and patients. So that's what we'll continue to advocate for. And as long as our friends in the community are under attack, we will also be advocating for their freedom of speech and their freedom to express themselves and their content, and to be able to have their platforms and to be able to say what they want to say on their platform. So thank you for being here. You're the best part of this channel. James was the biggest super chat of the night. So James, thank you for the biggest super chat of the night. James, where am I injecting this 10 milligram pen tonight? Just let me know and we'll get that done. Thank you for those who gave gifts tonight. There were plenty of you. Make sure that if you gave a gift tonight and you are interested in one of these, send me an email at mounjaroman@gmail.com and send me your address and I'll send it to you, and would love to do that. James, I think people are asking him about his stomach. I believe the best place is the stomach. I believe that you're correct. And so that's where I will inject tonight. Awesome. Dun, dun, dun. Didn't even feel that one. Awesome. Thank you, James. And thank you, 10 milligram Mounjaro. It's about time for me to move up to the 12.5. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, love you. Appreciate you, James. I love and appreciate each and every one of you who join every week on the Pen Live. This has been a great show. Thank you for BJ Davis for joining tonight. Thank you to those of you who joined tonight. Thank you for those who hit that like button. Make sure that you do that again before you leave. Hit that like button. Share this somewhere with somebody who it will be helpful for. If you are in contact with Amy, Danae, please let her know that she has an open invitation to come up, come over on this channel and let us know where we can find her, and just let her know that our love from On the Pen is out there, and we support her. Is there such thing as generic Tirzepatide? Tirzepatide is the active ingredient. Thanks for the super chat all up in the comments. Tirzepatide is the active ingredient in Mounjaro. There is no generic version of Tirzepatide available because it is on patent through a long time. Way long time. So there's no generic. There is something called compound medications that are available through compound pharmacies. They're sterile compound pharmacies. This is going to be a conversation all up in the comments that you're going to want to have with your doctor and you're going to want to ask them if that is a viable option for you. Tirzepatide is the active ingredient in Mounjaro. Compound pharmacies, typically, the history of compound pharmacies is that they've been around for years and years and years and years, and they basically will take an active ingredient in a drug, and if you, like, let's say you're allergic to a preservative or a dye in a mainstream medication, a compound pharmacy is going to be able to make that for you without that dye, or they're going to be able to mix it with some compound, right? They're able to put it with something else. If you have a side effect with a certain medication, they're able to compound it with something that might help to mitigate that side effect. In the case of Tirzepatide, semaglutide, there are compound pharmacies that will, if your doctor writes a prescription for you, that will make versions of semaglutide or Tirzepatide that are compounded with like a B vitamin or something like that. But these are all conversations that need to take place with you and your doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a guy on YouTube. That's all I am. So that's what I got to tell you about the generic. It's going to be compounded. And there's there's a lot of bad information out there about compounds. This is not something, these are not ads you're going to see on Facebook. And that you're going to be able to get without a prescription. Don't touch those with a 10-foot pole. Talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor. I don't know if I can be any more clear about that, but thank you for the gifts tonight. I really, really, really appreciate them. Thank you for being here tonight. You are the best part of this channel. Thank you to BJ Davis for joining tonight. He is so awesome. You want to check out the Discord at davisdiscord.com. You also want to check out my Facebook page, On the Pen with Man on the Mounjaro. That is my group, my Facebook group. You can join over there. There's people over there sharing great information over there all the time. I really, really hope that you check out that or the Discord, and make sure you go over to On the Pen and subscribe. Find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm in all the places. And until next week, we'll catch you on the next one.